with Buffalo Trace being around $25 and a lot easier to find than most of their other products, is it really still worth it to hunt down, say, something like this when its price is raised from 35 to 45 to 50 to 55 to 60 to you're probably not even gonna find it? Welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven, and if you haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe. Helps the channel out a ton. But let's get into the bottle we're here to review today, which is Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch. This here is a Buffalo Trace product, so limited. Super limited. It's way harder to find. Honestly, it was probably the first real allocated bottle that I ever got because it was in the cool tube and I was like, oh heck yeah. Since then I've thrown away the tube because it just gets annoying to try to drink out of it. But bottled and bond, so we know it is at least 4 years old, but it is non-age stated, 100 proof because again, bottled and bond, and it is Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1, which is their lower rye mash bill, which is like, you know, Buffalo Trace, their mainstay, main product, and most of their other offerings. But yeah, so I think MSRP is supposed to be around $45, $50-ish dollars. I picked this one up for $50, but allocated, harder to find. You might find it for $60. I hear a lot of people finding it for roughly around $60, $70. So I'm gonna grade it at both the $50 I got it for and say higher, or I'm gonna entertain if it was higher, or maybe if it was lower. You know, you might be lucky and find it for cheaper than I was able to do so. But let's go ahead and pour this and we'll get into it. Didn't spell it surprisingly. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Let's get into this nose. And Sweet Buffalo Trace. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I get this weird grassy note off of most Buffalo Trace products. I don't hate it, I don't love it, or at least the younger, lower proof Buffalo Trace products. I kind of like it. It's sweet, it's easy, but it is this funky grassy note that I get that I don't get off of a lot of other bourbons. I call it the Buffalo Trace funk, but not a lot of people say Buffalo Trace has funk, so I might just have an awkward palate. Who knows? It's very sweet though, getting a lot of caramels, a lot of vanillas, a lot of like just sugary sweetness. It's honestly, it's like most other younger, lower proof Buffalo Trace products. They're just super sweet. Getting a nice little bit of apples in there as well. A little hint of citrus and a little bit of cinnamon, but mostly it's just sweet. It's sweet, easy, enjoyable, very nice nose, not very challenging or complex, but it is really nice to live in. But let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Okay, on the palate, the oak starting to kind of come into play, picking up a still very sweet, very caramel, vanilla forward. Then it goes into kind of like this like fruity like apple, getting a little bit of a blueberry citrus as well. And then it goes into this nice little cinnamon, oak, and then drops off really quickly. Finish is, I would say small for a Buffalo Trace product, because usually I'm not disappointed with the finishes, but this one, it is coming off very light, simple, and just kind of blah. But let's go ahead and get into one more sip on this. So on that second sip there, I'm getting a lot of caramel sweetness in the beginning, traveling into a nice little bit of fruitiness, getting a little like apples, some blueberries, a little bit of citrus, very nice. That grassy note that I get off of Buffalo Trace, that's starting to come out there. And then it's traveling into like this nice cinnamon, oakiness, and then falling off very, very short with a non-existent, very short finish. Overall, very pleasant palate, very pleasant nose, non-existent finish. So not to steal another channel's term, but a channel I follow and I happen to really like, the podcast, they use the term crushable a lot. This is exactly what I would deem a crushable whiskey. It's short, it's easy to sip, it's very sweet and delightful, but it's not overly complex, which, I mean, if you guys follow the channel, you know, Buffalo Trace products, at least the lower proof ones, they're not really my jam. They're simple, easy, sweet, not super complex, and I prefer a more aggressive flavor profile. I like to get smacked around a little. So I think overall, grading this at 45.50. I don't know. It's a toss-up because I don't love the whiskey, but it does have a sweet spot in my heart. It was one of the first, probably actually the first other than Buffalo Trace, allocated product that I got, and I was like, heck yeah, this is awesome. It came in a tube, and so it has that little nostalgia part for me, but I just don't know if the whiskey compares to other whiskeys I've tried since I got that. So nostalgia stuff aside, I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna have to go B-. E.H. Taylor, small batch, B-, and that's at 45.50. I don't think you should pay over $50 for this. It's good, bordering on okay. It's good whiskey. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the whiskey. I just don't think the price and what's in the bottle is really worth it. You know, like for $50, I'd rather be buying an Old Forester product or a Wild Turkey product. Like you can buy Rare Breed for the amount of money I spent on this, and that would stomp this. And I haven't even tried those side by side yet. So I think overall, I think it's just a flat B-, leaning to maybe a C+, but I don't know if I want to be that critical, because again, I do have this nostalgia with it, and I do accept that you are going to be paying a little bit more for an allocated product. Overall, again, B-, C+. I wouldn't pay over $50 for it. I think it's a great crushable whiskey, but it's not complex. It's not going to challenge you. It's not going to blow your mind away. It's just something that's a nice, easy sipper. So if you're looking for something like that, I would definitely say, again, try before you buy it. But if that's something you like, buy it as much as you want. Please do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys thought about this video, and let us know what you guys think about how I graded it. You know, I'm sure some of you guys love it out there. It's just not my flavor profile. Again, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. The link is down in the description below. We appreciate you guys for all your support. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.